In a striking development during Japan's latest House of Councilors election, Osaka has emerged as a political battleground where the Democratic Party is rapidly gaining ground. Particularly in the Minami and Senshu areas, support for the party has surged beyond expectations, signaling a potential shift in regional political dynamics traditionally dominated by the Japan Innovation Party Isshin no Kai and the Liberal Democratic Party LDP. While the national narrative focused on Prime Minister Ishiba's struggle to maintain control amid internal party unrest, the Kansai region quietly became the stage for a voter realignment that could have longer-term implications, especially for the opposition's hopes in future elections. Minami and Senshu, the epicenters of support. Detailed vote counting results reveal that two districts in particular, Minami, southern Osaka, and Senshu, located in the southwest part of Osaka Prefecture, played a pivotal role in bolstering the Democratic Party's vote share. Traditionally areas where working class and small business communities hold sway, these regions have shown increased dissatisfaction with the current administration's economic policies, particularly regarding inflation, healthcare, and post-pandemic business recovery. In Minami, precinct-level data indicated that Democratic candidates secured an average of 26% more votes than in the previous upper house election. Senshu followed closely with a 22% vote increase, pushing the Democratic Party's candidates into highly competitive positions even in historically conservative precincts. Political analysts attribute this spike to a combination of local grievances and targeted campaigning. The Democratic Party strategically shifted its campaign messaging to focus on bread and butter issues, rising living costs, dwindling pension values, and job insecurity, explains political commentator Mika Nishimoto. It resonated deeply in Minami and Senshu, where economic recovery has been uneven and people feel left behind. Impact of strategic candidate placement. The Democratic Party's decision to place younger, locally rooted candidates in key districts also paid off. For instance, in Senshu, the selection of 34-year-old labor lawyer Takayuki Morita, a native of Izumisano, energized younger voters and union supporters. Morita, who framed his campaign around protecting workers' rights and reducing youth unemployment, gained traction through TikTok videos and local town hall meetings. Meanwhile, in Minami, Sachiko Tamura, a former public school teacher and lifelong Naniwa Ward resident, ran on an education-first platform that directly addressed class size reductions, better teacher support, and increasing high school scholarship funding. Tamura's ability to mobilize both educators and parents through grassroots campaigning created a loyal voter base that propelled her well ahead of expectations. The Democratic Party's candidate selection strategy marks a sharp contrast to the LDP's reliance on more senior, Tokyo-based politicians who often lacked strong local connections. Falling fortunes for the Japan Innovation Party. The election results also highlight a plateauing or even declining influence of the Japan Innovation Party Nippon Isshin no Kai, particularly in central Osaka and suburban districts. While Isshin still performed reasonably well in urban Osaka city areas, their dominance was undercut by a visible shift among swing voters who were disappointed with Isshin's lack of follow-through on local governance reforms. Once hailed as a regional powerhouse, Isshin's appeal has been weakened by perceptions of political opportunism and overreach. One key example is their push for further privatization of public services, a move that angered many residents in Senshu, where hospitals and rail services are already strained. The backlash was evident in voting booths, where turnout skewed toward Democratic Party candidates advocating for stronger public infrastructure and services. Voter turnout and youth engagement. Osaka saw a notable rise in voter turnout, especially among younger demographics aged 18 to 29, a group traditionally characterized by political apathy. Voter engagement programs led by local universities, social media influencers, and nonpartisan civic groups seem to have contributed to this increase. In fact, voter turnout in Minami increased by 7.4 points from the previous election cycle. This surge worked in the Democratic Party's favor, as their younger candidates and social media-savvy campaign style attracted the attention of first-time voters. Exit polls showed that nearly 41% of voters under 30 in Osaka favored Democratic candidates, compared to just 24% for LDP and 22% for Isshin. According to political sociologist Hiroaki Iba, young people are beginning to connect political outcomes with their real-world concerns, whether it's affordable housing, climate policy, or part-time job rights. The Democratic Party is the first major opposition to fully understand and adapt to that shift. Influence of national politics. The broader national context also played a role in Osaka's voting trends. The LDP's struggles at the national level, especially under the embattled leadership of Prime Minister Ishiba, created a ripple effect in key constituencies across Japan. In Osaka, where dissatisfaction with the LDP's top-down economic recovery model had already been festering, voters seemed ready to explore alternatives. The Ishiba administration's recent mishandling of inflation subsidies and healthcare budget cuts added fuel to the fire. Although these are national-level issues, they had a disproportionate impact in economically fragile areas like Senshu, where many residents rely on public healthcare and subsidies for daily living. As one voter from Takaishi said, "We've been patient since the pandemic. But while Tokyo gets big budgets and flashy projects, we're stuck with empty promises. This time, I voted for someone who actually lives here and knows our pain." Implications for future elections. The Democratic Party's success in Minami and Senshu, while localized, could foreshadow broader changes in Japan's political landscape. If the party continues to invest in regional strategies and grassroots campaigning, it could position itself as a more formidable alternative to both LDP and Ishin in future lower house elections. Moreover, Osaka's shift may influence how political parties campaign in other urban areas with strong local identities, such as Fukuoka, Nagoya, and Sapporo, where national parties have often struggled to connect on a micro level. There is also speculation that the Democratic Party may now attempt coalition talks with smaller progressive parties to unify the opposition bloc, especially in Kansai and Chugoku regions. If such a coalition were to form, it could pose a serious challenge to Ishin's dominance in Western Japan. The road ahead. While the Democratic Party's momentum in Osaka is promising, sustaining it will require more than just effective messaging. The next challenge lies in delivering on campaign promises, building sustainable local structures, and staying connected to constituents beyond the election cycle. One concern, according to analyst Jun Saito, is whether the party can maintain internal cohesion while scaling its successes. As parties grow, so do the chances of internal friction. But if the Democratic Party learns from past failures and avoids Tokyo-centric strategies, it might just write a new chapter in Japanese opposition politics. Conclusion. The 2025 upper house election has revealed a reconfiguration of voter preferences in Osaka, particularly in Minami and Senshu. These areas, once seen as predictable, have now become crucial battlegrounds where local issues, relatable candidates, and grassroots outreach can redefine political allegiances. As Japan looks toward the next general election, all eyes will be on whether this regional wave of support for the Democratic Party can be transformed into a national movement, or whether it will remain a Kansai phenomenon. One thing is certain, in the political puzzle of modern Japan, Osaka is no longer just a piece, it's becoming the whole board.